welcome to E&I UK and Europe edition. I'm Giacomo Matera, reporting from London. We'll be bringing you news reports from the United Kingdom and Europe, and we have live reporters on standby ready to give their reports. On today's programme, UK Prime Minister hits back after ex-aide alleges pandemic lies and chaos. Spain speeds up its vaccinations for farm workers for the upcoming harvest season. And we are joined live by Kathleen Eusebio today. Hello, Kathleen.
Hi, Giancarlo. Trafalgar Square fourth Flint shortlist on display at London's National Gallery.
Okay, thank you. We look forward to that report later in the show. Also from the United Kingdom, we have a report by Arabelle Celestino on how the Iglesia Ni Cristo youth build social confidence through interactive workshops. Then in our Germany and Europe news stories, we have a report from Eva-Marie Kraus on how minimalism and decluttering for a more organized home. And also staying in Germany, we have a sightseeing tour of Dusseldorf, Germany, a report by Irene Juliette Arzadon. In our health section this week, we have another episode of our Get Fit with Aaron. This week, the topic is 3 mistakes that could be stopping you from losing fat effectively. And we'll end today's show, as always, with our view from our window. And this week, it's coming from one of Belgium's national parks.
By getting the result.
But now our main news stories. The UK Prime Minister hits back after an ex-aide alleges pandemic lies and chaos. The British Prime Minister Boris Johnson on Thursday denied overseeing the needless deaths of many thousands of COVID patients after his former chief advisor alleged the government's pandemic response was undermined by lies and incompetence. Boris Johnson declined to say whether Dominic Cummings was telling the truth in his claims to MPs on Wednesday, but said some of the commentary he's heard doesn't bear any relation to reality. Cummings is an abrasive political strategist who masterminded the anti-EU campaign in Britain's Brexit referendum. He called Johnson unfit for the job and said that Health Secretary Matt Hancock was a serial liar. Asked about Cummings' central claim that tens of thousands of people had died needlessly last year, including in care homes for the elderly, Johnson told reporters, "No, I don't think so. Of course, this has been an incredibly difficult series of decisions, none of which we've taken lightly," he said, insisting the government did all it could to save the lives and protect the state-run National Health Service. Cummings said that the health minister should have been fired at least 15 to 20 times after lying to everybody on multiple occasions, in meetings after meetings in the cabinet room and publicly. Matt Hancock claimed in May 2020 to have thrown a protective ring around care homes, but the main opposition Labour Party noted that 30,000 elderly residents had died of COVID-19 and 20,000 older patients were discharged from hospital without testing. Labour also highlighted Cummings' assertion that Hancock had dishonestly blamed the NHS chiefs for the government's failures to procure adequate personal protection equipment for frontline medics. The unsubstantial allegations around honesty are not true, Hancock responded in Parliament on Thursday, insisting he had been straight with people in public and privately throughout. Boris Johnson said that the deaths in care home were tragic, but we did everything we could to protect the NHS to minimize transmission with the knowledge that we had. The Prime Minister himself is facing questions over whether, as claimed by Cummings, he refused to take the pandemic seriously, ignored scientific advice at key points, and was distracted by personal issues and media coverage. Downing Street has disputed these claims. Spain is speeding up its vaccination of farm workers for upcoming harvest season. As the harvest season nears, Spain is vaccinating as quickly as possible its farm workers to avoid a repeat of the outbreaks of COVID-19 in the northeastern region of Catalonia and Aragon. Last year, a spike in infections among farm workers led to localized lockdowns. Spain is one of Europe's main providers of fresh fruit and vegetables, and the harvest season normally attracts some 20,000 temporary farm workers from places as far as Colombia and Senegal. But last year, the pandemic brought in more people than usual, including illegal immigrants ending up living on the streets or in camped houses, which resulted in the transmission of the virus. In a town school set up for vaccination as a vaccination center, farm workers are asked for their IDs and the name of their employers. And for now, the Catalonian government is currently giving priority to people who are already working. Some locals would prefer to see all people who turn up for work get vaccinated, even if they are illegal immigrants. Okay, it's time for a break now, but please come back for some more E&I UK and Europe edition.
Is quite as simple as it seems. To understand the world better, we need to take a closer look. Experience knowledge. Tomorrow today.
Welcome back to E&I UK and Europe edition. Now for some more interesting stories from around the United Kingdom this week. Artworks have been shortlisted for Trafalgar Square's fourth plinth, and they are on display at London's National Gallery. Kathleen Eusebio is with us today with the report. Hi, Kathleen.
Yes, Giancarlo, the fourth plinth is one of the world's most popular public art commissions. It plays a significant part in bringing together contemporary art and debate to the public for free, casting London's most historic square a new light. There are large stone plinths in each corner of the square, 3 of which bear statues. The fourth was built in 1841 to hold a statue of King William IV on a horse, but it was never completed due to insufficient funds. Since 1998, the plinth has been used to showcase temporary pieces of art and has so far hosted works including a giant ship in a bottle, a horse skeleton statue, and a dystopian whipped cream sculpture. The 6 artworks shortlisted for Trafalgar Square's fourth plinth are on display at London's National Gallery until July, and visitors are able to see the models and give their opinion online. The fourth plinth commission group would choose 2 winning sculptures, which will be unveiled on the fourth plinth in 2022. Some of the designs that have been shortlisted are a silo or a storage tower filled with plants, a 1914 photograph reimagined, a figure based on German myth, and a jewelry tree made of household objects. 6 works by artists including Polish artist Gośka Makiuga and Germany-based Paloma Bargavist have gone on display at the National Gallery, which reopened last week as well as online. Let's take a look.
In Trafalgar Square, there are artists from all around the world, from Mexico, from Ghana, from Germany, from the UK, and each of them has proposed a work that will sit on the fourth plinth for 2 years, for a temporary period of 2 years. And we've asked those artists to think about having a conversation with London about the role that art can play in helping us really to think more broadly about who we are, about how we live in this city of London. Of artists. We have artists internationally from around the world. Out of the 6 shortlisted artists here, 4 of those artists are women. It's important, I think, to have as open and as diverse and as representative a selection of works and of artists as possible, and that's what we have with this year's selection.
And as you said, it's also very international.
Thank you for that report, Sister Kathleen. Just one question. What has the Fourth Plinth program come to represent? And what does it bring to the City of London?
Well, Giancarlo, according to Justin Simons, Deputy Mayor for Culture and the Creative Industries, the Fourth Plinth program had become a powerful symbol for Londoners and visitors to our city and is emulated worldwide. She also added that it also brings great contemporary art to the heart of our city for free, and it encourages a lively conversation. It also cast a new light on London's most historic square, helping our public landscape to reflect, represent, and celebrate many more of our stories. Giancarlo?
Thank you so much once again, Kathleen, for preparing that report for us.
Thank you, Giancarlo. Reporting from London, United Kingdom, I'm Kathleen Eusebio. We live in interesting times.
Okay, staying with the UK now, an online workshop on building social confidence took place in the United Kingdom and Ireland for the youth members of the Iglesia Ni Cristo Church of Christ. We have Arabelle Celestino bringing us her report. Let's listen in.
The youth members of the Iglesia Ni Cristo Church of Christ in the United Kingdom and Ireland held an online workshop on building social confidence.
This term is derived from the Latin word confidere, meaning to trust in something or someone. Confidence helps us to feel ready for life's experiences, and the INC recognizes the many benefits this workshop will bring to the youth, especially as the pandemic brought experiences of social isolation to people's lives.
I participated in the activity hoping that it would boost my social confidence, because for me, I personally think that I'm very shy, especially in public, because I really get flustered and embarrassed easily. I hope that this activity would help me gain more social confidence, especially when it comes to public speaking, which could help me in my university, future workplace, or in any other activities.
The workshop started with an introductory video by clinical psychologist Dr. Darwin Bison, who explained how we can grow our self-confidence.
Specifically, how we can develop and maintain a healthy level of confidence.
After a brief icebreaker and a couple of tips on how to gain self-esteem, the participants joined 2 online games in different breakout rooms facilitated by group leads.
I was a group lead for one of the 2 games that was prepared for this workshop. Well, the game in my room was Escape Room, and it was facilitated through an online environment. So I had to share the screen where the riddles were displayed, and then all the other participants had the image of the room that we had to escape from, and each riddle would point to a clue within the room. So the participants, including the game hosts, such as myself, we all had to work together to figure out which clue in the room corresponded to the riddle.
I liked it. We got to see the other Kadiwa from the district, and we got to play games with each other, and we talked about building confidence.
The attendees were also given tips on how to build social confidence in different settings, such as school and work. As this was an online workshop, the organizers prepared the event in a way in which the attendees not only get to learn more about confidence, but also interact with one another.
To be able to get into the root of how to answer that question, we actually had to consult a professional, which was Darwin Bison, who's a psychologist. There's only so much that we could say or tell, teach people on how to become socially confident. We wanted to make it as fun as possible.
Well, the main purpose of the workshop was to help us improve how to build social confidence, but an extra thing I learned is why we need social confidence for, and I learned that it's gonna get you far in life, it's gonna make you really successful, it's gonna give you really great job opportunities, and you can make friends easier.
Through this timely workshop organized by the Church of Christ, not only have the youth received valuable information on how important social confidence is, but they were able to apply them in practical situations through fun and interactive games. Indeed, this experience enabled the participants to have a better appreciation of themselves so they can tackle everyday social situations in a more positive manner. Reporting from London, United Kingdom, I am Arabelle Celestino, and we live in interesting times.
Thank you, Arabelle, for that report. It's time for another break now, but please come back for some more ENI UK and Europe edition.
It's time to take one step further and face the impossible. Time to search the unknown and fight for the truth. Time to overcome boundaries and connect the world. It's time for DW News.
Welcome back to ENI UK and Europe edition. Now we have some more interesting stories from around Europe this week. Starting in Germany now, where youth members of the Iglesia Cristo Church of Christ in Germany, Netherlands, and Luxembourg discuss about the advantages of minimalism and decluttering your home. Let's take a look at this report.
Nowadays, especially due to the pandemic, people have had to make adjustments at home to make more space for work and schooling at home. More and more people also wonder how else they can improve their homes to make it feel more comfortable and organized. In a meeting held on different occasions throughout Germany, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg, youth members of the Iglesia Ni Cristo Church of Christ discussed about minimalism and decluttering. Let's ask some of the attendees what they learned that day.
Today we had our seminar about decluttering and minimalism. And I also learned today the difference between them, that minimalism is a lifestyle and decluttering is an action.
What I've learned from the meeting is that after you declutter your things, for example your work desk, you instantly feel much more organized and calmer. So the cleaner workspace will boost your productivity.
Another thing that I found interesting about the meeting is the concept of clearing things that you don't need and focusing on what you currently need. The reason for this is that we tend to keep things that we've probably used once or twice in the past. However, with no further use to it, the majority of them turn into junk and clutter. So clearing these up can help you save some space or clear up some space for further use in the future.
One of the things that I have learned through this meeting, which was about minimalism and decluttering, is that it's actually really important to declutter every once in a while. To clean your room or to throw away or sell stuff that you don't need anymore. Reason being is not only will it help you keep a clean room or a clean closet, it will also help you mentally. It will give way to more things that you want to do. For example, you need to do some schoolwork or some work. You want to pick up a hobby again. It will give more time for that. And that is one of the things that I have learned in this meeting.
One of the goals of the meeting was to offer another perspective on organizing one's day-to-day life. Let's hear more from the ones who organized the meeting.
The topic was chosen both to help and to inform the brethren the benefits of decluttering.
We wanted to encourage the Kadima members to start decluttering and also remind each other that we don't really need much to be happy, but we just have to value the little things that we have in our life.
By attending this meeting, participants showed their unity with one another while learning a new way to make their day-to-day better organized. I am Eva Marie Krause for Eco News International, and we live in interesting times.
Thank you, Eva Marie and EBC Germany, for bringing us that news story. Let's go now on a tour of a German city of Dusseldorf with Irene Juliette Arzadon. Let's watch her report.
Naming International Airport in Germany, starting with the letter D. Dusseldorf, correct, the state capital of North Rhine-Westphalia. The area of the city is 217 square kilometers big, with a population of more than 600,000 residents. Now, I will show you some places like Rhine Tower, Königsallee, the buildings of Gary, and Benrath Palace. For those who love shopping, the Königsallee or Kö, which literally means King's Avenue, is a famous boulevard. This luxurious shopping mile is over 1 kilometer long. In this city, there are so many museums and galleries side by side like in no other city. Like here in the Rhine Promenade, where the Rhine River is passing with a view to the Rhine Tower. The landmark Rhine Tower is 50 meters high with an observation deck open to public, and it should not be missing. Just close by, well, it's tiled, arched, crooked, yet beautiful. Those are the Gehry buildings located at the harbor from the architect Frank Gehry. This is how the three facades are standing out, which are so different within their form and material. Like a pink jewelry box is the Palace Benrath with a park which extends 61 hectares wide. The Elector Karl Theodor of Palatinate appointed Nicolas de Pégage to build a Maison de Plaisance with a generous and beautiful park, which was constructed 1756 to 1773. You enjoyed our tour today. See you next time. I am Irene Juliette Arzadon reporting for EBC Bureau Germany, and we live in interesting times.
Thank you, Irene, for that comprehensive tour of Dusseldorf. Okay, in today's health section, we have another episode from Aaron Paul Ortiz, a professional coach who specializes in fat loss and fitness, and he continues to take us on a journey to gain self-confidence. Today, the topic is how to avoid the 3 mistakes that could prevent us from losing fat effectively. Let's watch his episode.
What is going on, Aaron here? This is the week 6 of your 90-day challenge. Huge well done to you if you've been following through week by week. If you have, be proud of yourself, okay? So this week we'll be going through some mistakes that you could be doing if you're not quite getting the results that you desire. So first of all, scales is not the only factor that you should be looking at when it comes to fat loss, right? Because scale could be 3 different things: fat, water, or muscle. So if you are gaining or losing, that doesn't mean right away that that's body fat. So you have to start looking at other things to actually check your progress, such as your energy levels, right? Your measurements around your body, or how your clothes feel. So you have to start looking at other factors too. Now, if you are looking at other factors too, such as those things I just mentioned, but you're still not quite getting the results that you'd want, right? then these are the 3 mistakes that you could be making. First one is consistency. Consistency is everything, right? It's good to be consistent from Monday to Friday, but the big question is, how do you do over the weekend? Do you go crazy over the weekend because you track your foods and you manage to get your walks and stuff? Or do you also track your weekend and you actually watch out what you eat and also you still get your walks in? Second one is, are you being honest? Are you tracking everything with your food? Or are you only tracking the foods that you'd want to track? Honesty is everything when it comes to also losing fat. So make sure that you are being honest when it comes to tracking and also with your exercises too. Last one is patience. So if you are being honest and you're being consistent at the same time, the question is, are you being patient enough? You have to realize that if it took you 5 years, 10 years, or 15 years to build these bad habits, it's not going to take you a week to lose it or 2 weeks to reverse it all back, right? So have the expectation that it will take time to get the results that you'd want, right? So those are the 3 things. You have to stay consistent, you have to be honest, and you have to be patient, right? If you got any questions about anything, message me on my Instagram. I'd love to help, right? Apart from that, keep up what you're doing, and I will see you next week.
Thank you, Aaron, for that excellent episode again, and we look forward to next week's tips. Okay, we'll end today's show once again with our view from our window, and this week we're getting a glimpse of Ter Hills. It is a beautiful and famous national park in Belgium, and 26 years ago the place was known as an industrial mining and gravel digging site, but now it's been turned into a fauna and flora water park and breathtaking site where tourists can connect with nature. These wonderful views are courtesy of Kate Rebivis from our Belgium Bureau. Thank you so much for that view, Kate. And that's it for our program today. We hope you stay safe and keep positive as we continue to bring you more stories next week from the United Kingdom and Europe. I'm Giancarlo Matera, and we live in interesting times.